This Coach Marcus Pro Fan Talk. Everybody is talking about Saquon Barkley. Do you play him next week versus the Giants? Do you ice him? Do you not risk the opportunity for injury with him trying to go for Eric Dickerson's record? That is the record that everybody's looking at. And that's the one, the most yards in a single regular season in NFL history. Yes, it's 17 games now instead of 16 games, but it is what it is. Nobody got mad at Eric Dickerson when he broke O.J. Simpson's record in 16 games rather than 14 games. So you're going to have that evolution, especially in this pass-happy era of NFL football. So you can't slight him for that. With the issue of Eric Dickerson not wanting him to break the record, you guys know my feelings about that. I don't have no problem with that. I wouldn't want nobody to break my records either. Let me be honest with you. I still got OBC and EKU records. I don't want nobody to break them. I know eventually somebody will, and then good on them. But I want to keep that because that's how you are remembered. So I have no problem with Eric Dickerson, but it does look a little bit foolish, seeing as though he made the comment about it being 17 games instead of 16, and I'm making the comment that nobody had that energy for you when you broke OJ's record in 16 instead of 14. So let's keep all of that in perspective. But that's neither here nor there. The purpose of this is talking about everybody's looking at the wrong record. Everybody's looking at Eric Dickerson. He's got the most yards in the regular season. He needs literally 100 more yards, 101, I think it is, right? But in my opinion, you chasing the wrong record. That's who you're trying to get to. You're trying to find TD. The reason why is because Terrel Davis, you talking about somebody, there's only been 9 people to break 2,000 yards in NFL history. Let me say that again. There's only been 9 running backs to break 2,000 yard mark in regular season in NFL history. So you are already in rare air. But why is TD so special? Why is Terrel Davis so special? Because Terrel Davis is the only running back to surpass 2,000 yards in the regular season and win a Super Bowl. That's what you're chasing. You're not chasing Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson never make it to the big game. Never made it. All them yards he ran for, never got to the big one. He got into the playoffs, I believe, but I don't think he got anywhere close to getting to a Super Bowl. And up to this point in your career, Saquon Barkley, was never going to get close to a Super Bowl playing for the Giants. And with their current set of circumstances, you would have been in the same boat. Everybody would have loved you in New York, but you'd still be in the same boat. And you would be one of those guys, one of those great players. You would be on this list right here. Let me go through this list for you. This is the list. I found this was on Business Insider, but NFL legends who surprisingly never won a Super Bowl. Dan Marino's at the top of the list. Dan Marino, in my opinion, is arguably the best quarterback out there. Him and Warren Moon to never win a Super Bowl. Personal note, I would throw Randall in there too. Randall should have at least had a chance to play in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for a stupid kicker. But look at this list. Dan Marino, right? Julius Peppers, Hall of Famer, right? Junior Seau got to the Super Bowl, but they got blasted. Didn't they get blasted like 55-6 or something like that when they made it to the Super Bowl? Never got one. Eric Dickerson, never got one. All them yards, never got one. Warren Moon threw for all them yards, never got one. Who else we got? Terrell Owens, one of the best to ever do it. Made the Super Bowl with the Eagles, never got one. Couldn't get over that hump. Got there once, never could get back. Difficult to do. Chris Carter, arguably the best wide receiver to ever play the game. There's probably some people better, but you could argue that Chris was one of the best. When you can argue and you're in that conversation, you in rare air. And Chris Carter was one of the best. Point period in the paragraph. He was with Randall. and Randall Cunningham, Chris Carter, and that was Randy Moss's rookie year. Couldn't get it done. Tony Gonzalez, best tight end ever, before Gronk, couldn't get it done. LaDainian Tomlinson, he was on that team with Junior Seau, couldn't get it done. My homie, representing the Cincinnati Bengals, we lost to friggin' Joe Montana twice in the Super Bowl, couldn't get it done. It is supremely difficult. Randy Moss, I just mentioned him with that team with Chris Carter and Randall Cunningham. It is supremely difficult. Jim Kelly, 4 in a row. Went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and was 0 for 4. Him and Bruce Smith. Bruce Smith is on this list too. Fran Tarkenton, 3 times. Came up short. So when you're talking about somebody getting to the big game, you want to follow Terrel Davis, TD, because he is in rare air. He is in the 2,000-yard club. There's only 9 of y'all. He's in the 2009 club, and he has a chip. He has a Super Bowl ring. That's what you're chasing. You're not chasing Eric Dickerson. You're not chasing Eric Dickerson. That's what I want you to chase. So everybody, if he gets it, great. But what I don't want to happen is I don't want the possibility of injury. The possibility is always there. It never goes anywhere. He could have got injured against, the Cowboys. So that is always there. So you have to be careful. So my logic is you either do it, go full tilt, or you don't do it at all. What I mean by that is, because I've been hearing some people saying it on social media and some of the morning shows and stuff like that. Well, maybe you leave him in for a half, so you can get him 10, 15 carries. He should be able to get it. The Giants ain't playing for nothing. By getting the win, they already screwed themselves out of Shador Sanders. I'm hearing all of this type of stuff. But you still have the possibility of injury. If he gets in there, let's say he does get it, but gets banged up, gets nicked up, and is not 100% when we go into the playoffs, everybody gonna be pissed off talking about you shouldn't have done it. You got too ahead of yourself. You're listening to the crowd, all of that type of stuff. So what I think is gonna happen is Nick Sirianni is gonna play the smart move and look at the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is the only thing that matters. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, with the team we got, if we don't play in the Super Bowl, I'm gonna be pissed off. I don't want the record at that expense. The cost is too high. Here's an example for you. We lost to Atlanta. We on the goal line. We were on the 3-yard line with time running out, and they threw the play. Saquon drops the ball, stops the clock. They get the ball back. They drive down, and they end up winning the game. When we could have ran the clock down, even if on the 3-yard line, if we run 2 brotherly shoves right at the 3, even if we don't get in, we run the clock down to maybe 18, 20 seconds max? So they got to go all the way down the field in 20 seconds? But what you do is you threw that pass, and yes, it was the right play. It was the right call. It was everything was right except Saquon dropped the ball. And what you did was you left the possibility on the table. By throwing the ball, you left the possibility of an incomplete pass and stopping the clock. That possibility exists when you put the ball in the air. Regardless of if it was the right play and they had the wrong defense, all of that type of stuff. All the stars aligned but one. And that's the one that mattered the most, catching the ball. So you left the possibility on the table, and the worst case scenario happened. So the only thing you could have done was take that possibility off the table. Make sure that possibility doesn't even exist. How do you do that? You should have ran the ball twice. We brotherly shove it twice to get 3 yards. We score. Game's over anyways. Run the clock out. I don't believe they had timeouts left. So we kill the clock those last 2 drives, and you end up with, like I said, 20 seconds left on the clock for them to go 99 yards. I would have took that chance, or at least ran it down and kicked the field goal or whatever it was we had to do in that particular situation. But but we had it in our hands, and we left a possibility on the table, and it burned us. So in this situation with Saquon Barkley, take the possibility off the table. The possibility exists that he can get hurt, get banged up, and he's not going to be 100% in that game. Because do I think that there would be people on that team looking to get a free shot on Saquon Barkley if they play the Giants? You know what the Giants are doing? Oh, he ain't getting that on us. Kenny Pickett, Tanner McKee, whoever's starting, you can throw for as many yards as you want to. He is not going to beat us, though. We ain't letting that happen. So then you got to worry about cheap shots, late hits, getting drugged to the ground, stepping on fingers. Y'all have no idea what the hell happens on the bottom of a pile when you are running back. And everybody on that team, I know he was in New York for 6-7 years or whatever it was. Everybody on that team didn't play with him. So everybody on that team certainly does not have his best interests in mind. Yes, he still got friends on that team, but hey, we handling business. And I can still knock your head off, step on your ankle, hip drop tackle, whatever the situation is. Take that possibility off the table. The big picture is too damn important right now. We have literally the best team in the NFL right now. We got the best team in the NFL. Nobody wants to play us. You do not risk that to get the record. He's done something that only 9 people in NFL history that have ever done. So he is already in rare air. In my opinion, he's already done stamped his Hall of Fame. He's already there. But you chasing Terrel Davis, the only 2,000-yard rusher to win a Super Bowl. That is what you're chasing. Go Birds.